Right. There we go, recording. Okay, so we're starting up on our feet. Perfect. And we will start just with checking our posture, a bit of breathing, and then mobilizing everything. Okay? So if you bring your feet to hip width distance apart, toes pointing forwards, knees not locked, so a little softness there, and your pelvis in neutral. Then roll your shoulders up to the ears, slide them back and drop them down. Good. Then a few nice breaths just to prepare yourself for the next hour. So breathing in through your nose if you can, expanding the rib cage. And then breathing out, closing the ribs back in and drawing the belly button inwards. Good, a couple more. Breathe in, expand. And breathe out, contract and tighten. Good, one more. And out. Lovely, and then let's just stretch out the neck a little bit. So if you bring your ear down towards the shoulder, so what side is your left ear down towards your left shoulder, and then just keep pulling that right hand and right shoulder down into the floor so you feel a nice stretch down the side of your neck. Good, and then gently come out of that, always moving nice and gently and softly with the neck, and then over to the other side. Again, watching that the shoulder doesn't get carried over, so keep pulling the opposite hand down into the floor. Good. And then softly coming back into the center. And then just looking over your left shoulder, so you feel the stretch down in a different part of the neck. And then back through the center slowly. And then twist to look over the other shoulder. Good, and then come back in. Then just start to roll the shoulders backwards. So you feel a nice stretch across the front of the chest as you pull the shoulders back and down. Then hands up onto your shoulders. Start to draw circles with the elbows. Click, click, click. I'm always paranoid that you can hear all my bones clicking. Good, then a nice breath in, releasing the hands, bringing your arms all the way up to the ceiling. And then exhale, circle the arms back and down, squeezing the shoulder blades together in your back. Good, breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, circle back. Good, a couple more. Lovely. Elbows in at your side, palms facing up to the ceiling. And then just slide the hands out wide, squeezing shoulder blades in your back. Elbows stay close into the body. And then release. Good. Breathe in. And out. Two more. Breathe in. Opening the ribs, filling the lungs. Breathe out. One more. And back. Good, then click your heels together, coming into the Pilates V Stance. Hands just across the chest. Breathe in, prepare. And then on the exhale, come into your spine twist, looking over your right shoulder. Hip bones always facing the camera or facing the front. Breathe in through the center. Breathe out, twist over to the other side. Good, breathe in through the middle. Breathe out, twist. Breathe in and out. Good, and then we're gonna extend the arms. So breathe out, twist over to the right, release the arms out to shoulder height. And then breathe in, come back through the center, crossing arms over shoulder, over chest. Breathe out, twist over to the other side, extend the arms. And back. Good, one more like that each side. Haven't got quite enough room. Breathe in, coming back. And breathe out. Lovely twist of that upper part of the spine. Back into the center. Good. Heels now back to behind the toes, arms down either side of the body, a little bit of a side bend stretch. Reaching your hand down around the outside of each leg. Good. One more to each side. Brilliant. Okay, then lift the arms up, hands facing in towards each other. Arms are about chest height. Good. Now breathe in and just open the arms up nice and wide, retracting the shoulder blades back. And then breathe out, round the shoulders, getting a nice curve and stretch across the spine and reach the arms forwards. Good, breathe in and open, stretching across the chest, retracting those shoulder blades. And then breathe out. And again, in and out. Good, again, in and out. Lovely. And then drop the arms down. Good. A little bit of hip mobilizing, so hold on to a wall if you need to. Lift up your right leg, knee level with your hip, and then come into a nice wide circle back and round. Skim the toe off the floor and keep going. Do 3 more big backward circles with this right leg. Good, 1 more. Perfect, and then swap legs. So get your balance first, standing, and then a nice big wide circle back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. Okay, then come down to the end of your mat. We're going to do a little bit of squat, roll down and walk out. Let me just adjust this slightly. There we go. Okay, so standing at the end of your mat, breathe in and roll the shoulders back. Then as you breathe out, round the shoulders forwards and roll down, rolling down through each vertebra in your spine. Knees aren't locked. Good. Then get down to wherever you can manage. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Lift yourself back up. And then straight into a nice squat where we push the bum back, bend at the knees, and reach the arms forwards. And then on our exhale, push up and arms back. Good. Breathe in, shoulders back. Breathe out, roll down. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out, roll back up. Then straight into an inhale and squat. And exhale, push up. Another one. Breathe in, shoulders back. Breathe out, roll down. Inhale at the bottom. And then exhale, roll back up. Breathe in, sinking down into your squat, knees staying in line with the toes. Exhale, push up. Good, now we're going to add in a little walk out of the arms as well, okay? So breathe in, shoulders back. Breathe out, roll down. Now, bending at the knees, bring your hands to the floor and walk yourself out, either into a full plank, where you're in a nice straight line, drop the hips, or just come down onto all fours. Okay, so just pause for a second or two, then walk the hands back, either with the knees on the floor or knees lifted, back down here into this forward bend. Exhale, lift yourself up. Breathe in into your squat, and then exhale. Sit up, arms back. Breathe in, shoulders back. Breathe out, roll down, getting into a nice little flow. Good, breathe in, into your plank. Hold, exhale. Breathe in, walk the hands back. Breathe out, roll up to stand. Breathe in into your squat. Breathe out, stand, arms back. Breathe in, shoulders rolled back. Good, breathe out, roll shoulders, roll down. Breathe in, walk forwards to plank or all fours. Hold for an exhale. Then breathe in, walk hands back. Coming back into this forward bend. Exhale, roll yourself up. Breathe in, shoulders back. Good, breathe out, roll down. Breathe in, walk your hands forwards. I forgot the squat now. Hold for an exhale. Breathe in, walk your hands back. Exhale, roll up to stand. Breathe in into your squat. Remember it this time. Exhale, up to stand. Good, 2 more of these. Breathe in, shoulders back. Breathe out, roll down and forwards. Inhale, hands out to plank or all fours. Hold, breathe out. Breathe in, walk hands back. Exhale, roll to upright. Inhale, sit down to your squat. Exhale, push up to stand. One last one. Inhale, shoulders back. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, walk hands forwards. Hold, breathe out. Breathe in, walk hands back. Breathe out, roll to upright. Breathe in, sit down into your squat. And exhale to stand. Good, well done. So officially warmed up now, hopefully. All right, now we're going to roll down and stay on our hands and knees, okay, and do a little bit of arm and leg extending. So shoulders back, get nice upright posture. And then again, exhale, roll down. Bring your hands down onto the floor and come down onto your hands and knees. Feel free to use extra padding, a towel, or double up your mat under your knees if you need to. Good. So just checking with the screen maybe, or a mirror if you're somewhere that has a mirror, that your hands and your knees are both under shoulders and hips, an equal distance apart. So now breathe in and prepare. Then on your exhale, we'll go just with the legs first. Extend the right leg out behind, and then lift and lower. We're doing 5 lift and lowers. 2 and lower. 3 and lower. Try not to let the pelvis twist around. 1 more, up and down. Good, bring that right knee in underneath the hip. Swap legs, so extend the left leg out and lift, squeeze into the glutes and lower. Good, lift and lower. 2, up and down. 3, 2 more, up and down. Last one, up and down. Good, just the arms now. So extend that right arm out and then lift Bicep coming up beside the ears. Good. 1 and down. 2 and down. 3, 4, one more, 5. Hand comes back in underneath the shoulder. Then your left arm extended out, lift to bicep to ear. Good. 1 and lower. 2 and lower. 3 and down. 4 and one more, up and down. Good. Now we're going to do, sorry, is it really dark? Is that better or worse? Up or down? Up. Okay. Right, so we're going to do the same now, but with opposite arm and opposite leg. Okay, so nice breath in to prepare. Then on your out breath, extend right leg and left arm. And then lift. 1 and lower. 2 and lower. 3, 4, and 5. Good, then slide them back in under shoulder and hip. Swap over to the other side, left leg, right arm. And lift. 1 and lower. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, slide back in. Do one more of those on each side. So right leg and left arm, extend, and then lift and lower. Just to touch down to the floor, keeping them straight. Good. 3, that looks good. And one more. Brilliant, then bring them back in, under shoulder and under knee. And then the other side, left leg, right arm. Slide and lift. 1 and touch. 2, touch down. 3, touch down. 4, touch down. And last one, 5, touch down. Perfect. Then just push the bum back down to rest towards or onto the heels, whatever you can manage. Stretch your arms forwards, bringing your forehead down to rest on the mat. And remember, throughout, you just do whatever feels good for you. If there's any of the exercises that I'm doing that don't feel quite right for your body for whatever reason, simply don't do them. It's especially important whenever I'm not in the room physically with you to kind of check on you and make sure you're okay. If something doesn't feel right, just stop and don't do it. Okay. Good. So then come back up onto your hands and knees. Swing your feet out to the side so you can come down into a seated position. Okay, so feet out to the side and come back, coming down into a seated position. And come down to the end of your mat. Okay, we're going to repeat our lovely C curve and roll backs, coming down into eventually full roll downs. So if you have a resistance band and you know you need it to help you get back upright when you're in the roll down, just go and grab it. If you haven't already, I should have said to you to get that ready for tonight's class. Just kind of always have one ready because they're quite good to have for all the classes. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, shoulders rolled back, spine nice and straight. Hands start in underneath the knees. Take your breath in. Then on the out breath, lead with the pelvis, tilt it back, scoop the belly button in, chin draws in towards the chest, and your arms are now fully extended. And then restack, straighten, sit back upright again. Good. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And remember, this is the one that you come back to if any of the next ones become too much. Or with the half rollbacks, I'm going to do these with the arms extended. We're going to lift and lower our arms and legs a little bit. If you need to, you just keep one or both hands in behind the thighs for that extra support, okay? Progress only when you feel that you can. So sitting nice and tall, straight back, breath in. On your out breath, roll back. This time walk the hands down the back of the thighs so you're coming back a little further. Hold, breathe in, and then breathe out. Sit back up, and inhale, restack and straighten. Release the hands if you can. Good. Exhale, roll down. Pause, breathe in, and then breathe out. Sit back up, inhale, restack. We're going to start moving the arms and legs a little bit now. So exhale, roll down. Then on your in-breath, just lift the right arm, bicep up beside the ear. Good. Then lower down as you sit back up and restack. Then the left arm, exhale, rolling back. Inhale, lift. Left arm, keeping right hand behind the thigh if you need to. And then exhale, lower the arms, sit back up. Inhale, restack. Both arms this time if you can. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift both arms. Good. Exhale, lower the arms, sit back up. And restack. One more of both arms. So that if you were just doing one, you get to do one each. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, arms down, sit back up. Now we're going to do that with the legs, okay? So exhale, roll down. On your inhale, straighten and lift the right leg to a 45-degree angle. Then lower the foot down, scoop, sit back up. Breathe in, restack. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, left leg. And exhale, foot down, sit back up. Breathe in, restack. Both legs 2 times or one more of single leg. So if you can, inhale, lift both legs. Good. Then put your feet down as you sit back up and restack. One more time. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, lift feet. Exhale, lower feet. And sit back up. Remember, you go back to this C curve if this is all getting too much. Now we're going to do 4 where we lift everything off together if you can. If not, just do one of each arm and one of each leg, okay? It's 4 more rollbacks in total. So breathe in, breathe out, roll back. Good. Now inhale, lift the arms, biceps beside the ears, legs to 45 degrees. Good. Then lower everything, sit back up. Breathe in, restack the spine. 3 more. Breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, lift. Good. Breathe out, lower. Sit back up. 2 more times. Breathe out, lower back. Breathe in, lift. Brilliant. Exhale, lower. Sit back up. Restack, straighten that spine in between each time. Last time, roll back. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, lower. And sit back up. Well done. Okay, bring the soles of your feet together. Just allow the hips to kind of relax for a moment. Butterfly, stretch the knees out to the sides. Maybe with a little push from the elbows. Good. Okay, now some full rollbacks. If you have a resistance band and you know you need it to support you on the way back to upright, go on ahead and get it now. If you don't need one, that's fine, you don't have to use it. I'll show you with, and then I'll show you without. So, legs can be straight or bent. Sit upright to begin with, breathe in. And then on your exhale, same idea. We lead with the pelvis, tilting and leading it back, bringing the lower spine down onto the floor first. Then finally, your shoulders and your head touch the ground, breathe in. And then on your exhale, we lift head and shoulders. So we're looking down towards the feet, chin in towards the chest, middle section of your spine, lower section of your spine, walking the hands up the band, sit back up and straighten your spine. If you don't have the band, you just do the same movement. The only difference is a little arm stretch up and overhead. And then exhale, lift. Imagine that rope is there, lifting you. And then a nice stretch forward, stretching out the back, stretching out the backs of the legs, reaching towards the feet. Straighten your spine before you go into it all again. Rounding, rolling down. Breathe in, arms overhead. If you can't sit back up, simply roll to the side, push yourself back to seated, and concentrate just on the roll down, using your hands behind the legs or the resistance band to help support you on the way down. So you're not just relying on the core. And then roll to the side, push yourself up with your elbow or your hand. Don't worry about it. Just do whatever level works for you tonight or today, whenever you're practicing this class. Good, do a few more of those. The main thing I want you to focus on is getting that connection of each section of your spine, and then stacking, restacking and straightening the spine in between each one. Lovely, brilliant. Nice stretch up overhead. Good. Brilliant. And don't worry if your feet lift off a tiny wee bit. We're trying to keep them down, but it's not the be all and end all. Good, so make this one your last one. Brilliant. Look at that sitting so upright and perfect. Brilliant. Okay, so now we're going to come back down onto the floor, onto our backs. So nice breath in, and one last time roll yourself down. This time keep the feet flat on the floor, knees bent. Bring the feet slightly further back in towards the bum. And we're just going to do a little bit of pelvic tilt and then move into the shoulder bridge. Okay, so if you want, you can put your hands, on your lower belly and really feel that movement as you tilt the pelvis. So breathe in, prepare, and then on your exhale, really tilt that pelvis back. So you start to press the lower spine down into the floor, and you'll feel the glutes start to lift up. Good, then on your inhale, you bring everything back into a neutral position. So not too tilted forwards, we don't want the arch. We always want the back of the ribs connected to the ground. So exhale, tilt back, imprinting this lower section, the bottom of your spine down onto the floor. Breathe in, back into neutral. Good, one more, breathe out. Tilt back, you'll feel the glutes maybe start to clench a little bit and tighten. And then breathe in, release. Okay, now into the full shoulder bridge. So on your exhale, start with the pelvic tilt, then keep on going. So your bum lifts up off the floor, lower spine lifts up, middle section of your spine, and then press feet and shoulders down into the floor. Try not to let your knees open apart, wider than hip width. Squeeze your glutes, inhale at the top, and then exhale, slowly lower back down, middle section, lower section, and release pelvis back to neutral. Good, exhale, tilt, roll and lift. Good, squeeze and breathe in. And then breathe out, lower, back down. Breathe in, pelvis to neutral. Okay, we're going to add in the arms now. So exhale, lift and roll and lift the hips up. Then on your inhale, float the arms up overhead, bringing the backs of the hands to the floor. And then exhale, bring the arms down as you lower the spine down. Good, breathe in, pelvis to neutral. Breathe out, tilt and lift. Breathe in, arms overhead. And breathe out, lower. Breathe in, back to neutral. Good. Couple more. Breathe out, tilt and lift. Squeeze glutes. Breathe in, arms overhead. Breathe out, lower down. Good. Do 2 more of those. Breathe out, tilt back and lift. Lovely, arms overhead. Arms back down as you lower the spine. Good. And last one. Brilliant. Good. And then just give your knees a little hug in to the tummy. And a little gentle rock from side to side on your spine. Good, and then feet back down onto the floor again, back into your neutral pelvis. And just lift the arms up then so they're shoulder width, hands facing in towards each other. Fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling. Good, now, I don't think I have enough room. So on your in-breath, we're going to open up the rib cage and bring the arms out to the side, but without flaring and without getting that arching of the back. Good, and then exhale, close the ribs, bring the hands back. Breathe in and open. Without arching, breathe out. Arms back. Good, breathe in and open. And breathe out, arms back. Good, we're going to do this now with the diagonal across the body where we do one arm and the opposite leg, okay? So if you open your right knee out to the side and your left arm on the in-breath, and then use the exhale to bring everything back into the center. Then your left knee opens, your right arm opens, and exhale, bring everything back. Good, right knee, left arm again, and back in. Left knee, right arm, and back in. Good, so keep the feet on the floor if this feels enough. If not, take it up a level, bringing the legs into your tabletop position. And then open, right knee out to the side, left arm opens. Breathe out, bring it back in. Other side, left knee, right arm. Breathe out, bring it back. Remember, you can put the feet back down if you regret the decision of bringing the legs into tabletop. Good. Keep on going. And then you might like to try some with legs straight. Now, when you straighten the legs, you will feel a bit of a shift in this lower spine. So you'll feel the lower back sort of imprinting in more intensely. And then breathe in, right leg opens, left arm opens. Breathe out, bring them back. Other side, breathe in and open. breathe out. Keep on going side to side. Just opening as wide as you can without the opposite leg or knee getting carried over. Good. Breathe in as you open. Breathe out. Coming back. One more each side. Lovely. Then just give the knees a nice hug in again. Bring your right hand to your right knee, left hand to your left knee. We're just going to give the lower back a nice little sort of massage now. So just working on the right knee. I want you just to push the knee away, then circle it out wide and bring it back. So you're just drawing nice big circles with this right side. And hopefully feeling the lower back on the right side, getting a nice massage on the floor beneath you. This works best if you're on a hard surface. If you're on soft carpet, you might not feel this just so much. But it's still good for your hip mobility. Okay, then swap over to your left knee. Just draw nice big circles out to the side. And you might notice one side feels different from the other. Good. Sometimes this can feel really nice if you have any kind of, lower back stiffness. Then we'll do both legs. So circling them out wide, bring them back. Circle out and back. Good. Lovely, last one. And then just a nice little hug in, one final wee squeeze. Good, before we come over onto our sides. So we're going to do a bit of clam. So if you get yourself lying on your side, your hips are stacked. So check in with your knees. Make sure your knees are one on top of the other. So we're not all reclined like this. And the clam, you want to have your feet back in line with your tailbone. So sometimes you can use like the edge of your mat to help you with this. So if your bum is right back on the edge, try and get your feet back to the edge of your mat as well. Now you can keep your hand here if you want to, or just resting in front of you. You can be propped up on your elbow or flat out on your arm, just whichever is more comfortable for you. Now breathe in, prepare, and then on the exhale, keeping those heels together, open that top knee without letting your pelvis roll back. Good, a little squeeze of the glutes to get a little bit higher, and then release. Good, okay, exhale, lift, and lower. Brilliant. Up and down. Good. So not worrying about the height. You might only be able to lift up a little bit. That's all fine. Good. Good, 2 more, going for about 10. And 10. Good. And release. Good. Now we're going to bring the feet forwards. So your hips and knees are at a 90-degree angle. So now your knees and your feet are kind of across one edge of your mat and your bum is back at the other end of your mat, if that makes sense. Now we're going to do 10 opening and closings of the knees, but not worrying about keeping the feet together. Okay, so breathe in. Then on your out breath, a nice wide lift and lower. Good. And again, up and down. Good. 3, 4. Lovely. 6. Good. Another 4. And last one. Lift and lower. Good. Okay, one last exercise before we roll over onto the other side. So lift your top leg and point the toe. Now bring your knee to the knee and point your toes up towards the ceiling. And then swap toe to toe and try and point your knee up towards the ceiling. And then switch knee to knee. Getting a cramp in my foot and toe to toe. Knee to knee. Toe to toe. 2 more. Knee to knee. Oh, it's really sore. Toe to toe. And last one. Knee to knee. And toe to toe. Oh, goodness me. Really horrible cramp. Good. Okay, then roll over onto your other side. If you do get cramp like me ever, it's really common in Pilates because there's quite a lot of pointing of the feet. Just relax off the point and take time out if you need to get rid of any nasty cramps. And make sure you drink enough. I clearly haven't been drinking enough today. Okay, so we're starting with our clam. Hips are stacked. Check that with your knees propped up on your elbow or flat out on your arm. Heels stay together for the first 10. Breathe out, open the knee, heels together, and release. Good, up and down. And again, you might find that one side feels really different from the other. You can get much more height on one side than the other. It's all fine. It's just sometimes nice to notice these wee things. Good. And 5 more. Lovely. 3. 2 more. Brilliant. Okay, then bring the legs forward slightly, or the feet forward, knees up, so your hips are at 90, your knees are at 90. And then the lovely wide open and close. Breathe in, prepare, and then lift. 1 and lower. Good. Lift and lower. Brilliant. 3 and lower. 4 and down. Good. 6. Good. 4 more of these. 3. And last one. Okay, good. Then we finish with our 5 knee to knee and toe to toe. So lift the legs slightly and point the toes. And then knee comes down to the knee, foot up towards the ceiling. And then switch toe to toe, knee up towards the ceiling. Good. And switch knee to knee, toe to toe. Good. And again, knee to knee, toe to toe. 2 more. Knee to knee, toe to toe. And 1 more, knee to knee, and toe to toe. Brilliant. No cramps, right? Good. So stretch yourself out and roll over onto your tummy. So you can start off with your hands together, so you can rest your forehead on your hands, like that. I'm just going to keep my head lifted so my voice isn't all muffled. And we're going to start with the legs, okay? So try not to bend at the knee. We're thinking about lifting the legs from the hip. So a nice breath in. And then on your out breath, lift the right leg and lower. Then lift the left leg and lower. Then try both legs together and lower. Good. Right leg and left leg and both together. Really squeezing into those glute muscles. Right leg, lift. Lower leg, lift. Both legs together and lower. Good. Keep on going. Right leg, lift. Left leg, lift. Good. And then both legs together. Brilliant. So when you're lifting them both together, you really feel, like you're pressing your pubic bone down into the floor. And use the glute muscles. Lift and lift. Good. Do one more round of right leg, left leg, and both together. Okay, good. All right, then, if you bring your arms out slightly and just lift your head and your chest up, but you should still feel the bottom of your ribs still connected to the ground. So this, you still feel your ribs touching, but your chest is lifted and you're pressing down with you're supporting yourself with your hands and your forearms. Now we're going to lift the legs from here. And then just flutter kicks if you're swimming in the swimming pool. Up and down, up and down. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going up to 10, 8, 9, and 10. And lower down. Good. Breathe in. Need to come a wee bit further forwards. Breathe out, lift. And then flutter the legs. 1, again, moving from the hips. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And lower. Good. Another breath in. Keep kicking the wall. On your exhale, lift and kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Squeeze the glutes. 9 and 10. And lower. Good. One last go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift. And flutter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Legs straight. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And relax. Legs down. Bring hands down slightly so you can push yourself up and back. And just press the bum down towards the heels or onto the heels, whatever you can manage. Stretch forwards for a moment, stretching out that lower back. Bringing your forehead down onto the floor. Good, then walk your hands all the way over to the right and push your hips slightly over to the left. So you start to feel a nice stretch, starting right in from sort of around the outside of that left armpit or left underarm. And then walk your hands over off the mat onto the left-hand side. And hips sort of slightly pushed over to the right. And again, feel the stretch. Starting right in from under the arm on the right side. And just sort of move whatever way you need to feel that stretch. Then back into the center, come up onto your hands and knees. And we'll do a little bit of the cat stretch, so just arching up across the shoulders, tucking chin in towards the chest, and looking back towards your knees and your feet. Good, and then come into a nice flat back. We're going to stretch across the shoulders now with the thread the needle exercise. So lift your left hand, and then put the back of your left hand onto the floor, and start to slide through the gap behind your right arm. Bend the right elbow, bringing your left shoulder down onto the floor if possible, and your head down onto the floor. Now you might not quite get there, but you'll still feel a good stretch across that left shoulder. Good, then come back, as if you're trying to reach something underneath, something really awkward underneath the sofa. Then we'll do the other side, right arm slides through, bring the right shoulder down onto the floor, and your head down onto the floor, and just feel a really good stretch across the shoulder. And come back. Repeat on the left side, breathe out, slide through. Breathe in, come back. Breathe out, slide through with the right arm. Breathe in, come back. And left again, breathe out, slide through. Breathe in, come back. Good, right arm again. Breathe out, slide through. Breathe in, come back. One more on each side. Breathe out, slide through. Breathe in, come back. Breathe out, slide through. Breathe in, come back. Lovely. Then come back down into a seated position, down to the end of your mat, and we're going to roll ourselves back down onto our backs. So either hands in behind the knees or stretched out. Breathe in with a straight back, and then breathe out. That lovely rounding and melting of the spine. Good, coming down. And bring your pelvis into the neutral position again. And we'll start just with our feet flat on the floor. Hands down, resting on the floor beside you. Good. Okay, now on your exhale, we're just going to slide our right leg out straight, keeping the hips and pelvis really steady. And then bring it back. And then the left leg. Slide away. And bring it back. Good. One more slide. Thinking about your hips and pelvis. And bring it back. And then the left leg. Okay, stick with that if that's enough. Otherwise, I want you to start with the legs in the tabletop position, hips and knees at 90 degrees. Good. Okay, now on the exhale, straighten that right leg, lower it down to the floor. And then bring it back to 90-90. Then the left leg, exhale, straighten it and lower. And then bring it back. Good, back to your right leg. Use the exhale, flatten. Keep that lower back really nice and tight into the ground. Left leg. Just sliding along the floor if it's too much with the legs lifted. Or likewise, if you want an extra challenge, you can try doing both legs together. Straightening, lowering, but without letting this middle spine arch up. And then come back. Or just stick to one leg at a time. And back. Good, taking your time, moving nice and slow. That looks good. One more on each leg. Brilliant, well done. Then a nice pull in, using the knees, using the hands, just give the knees a nice hug in again. A little bit of a rock from side to side on your spine. And then finishing with some circles of the knees again, this time moving both the knees as one, okay? So you're moving both the knees, first of all, in a clockwise direction. And again, feeling the lower spine, getting a nice little massage. As the left side touches the middle, then the right side. Good. And then swap directions. So you start going in an anti-clockwise direction. And all of these kind of knee circles and things, if you find you wake up in the morning with a really stiff lower back, these can be nice ones to do either in your bed or, get up and get onto a harder floor and just spend a little bit of time kind of circling and rolling around on the ground, rolling through your spine. Good, and then just put your feet back flat down onto the floor. Maybe bring one hand down to your belly, one hand to your ribs. Allow the eyes to close if they haven't already. And just finish with a couple of nice calming breaths, where you breathe in and feel the air filling the lungs and filling the belly. And then breathe out. Feel the rib cage drop and close. And feel the belly empty of air. And as you breathe, just scanning the body gently for any areas that might be holding tension or discomfort. And just sending a little bit of air and attention to those parts of the body. And enjoying the last couple of moments of calm and quiet. And then one lovely big energizing deep breath in. And then let it go. And one more. And then letting the eyes open again. If you need to move on, or if you have the time, just enjoying another few minutes of rest, just whatever works for you. So if you're live with me, you probably are going to have to open your eyes because I'm going to talk to you now. But thanks very much for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed.